Hey guys, Danielle at DanielleTBD, and today I'm going to do a little something different for you. If you've been reading my blog and following me on Twitter, you know just how obsessed I am with NBC's game show Hollywood Game Night. Hosted by Jane Lynch, Hollywood Game Night puts 3 celebrity contestants and 1 civilian contestant per team, pitting them against each other for a chance for the civilian at a $25,000 prize, $10,000 prize to charity of this winning celebrity's choice. Basically, it's a combination of all kinds of pop culture games, music, movies, TV, timeline of events, celebrity name game itself. And, you know, I loved it so much just from the concept that I actually auditioned to be a civilian contestant on the show, and unfortunately the casting people told me I was too inside the industry for that. So I ended up going to the press day and getting to still play the games alongside some friends. No money at stake, but tons of fun. And then, obviously, I sit at home every week and I watch it and I yell at my TV and I want to be a part of it. And I know that's not me, the only person out there doing that. I think that's kind of how this show works. That's why this show works well. You want to be a part of it. It's fun. Even if you don't have celebrities in your living room, the games themselves are exciting. So NBC thankfully understood that and said, you know what, we're going to bring this game home to you in the form of a new Hollywood Game Night Party Edition. This is a board game that the Consumer Products Division put out. It's available at Walmart and at NBCstore.com. And when I said I'm going to do something a little different for you today, I'm going to do a little unboxing review of the game. I'm not going to sit here and play it by myself for you. That'll come later. I'll have some friends. We'll do a demo for video, for excitement. You can see just how crazy we get and how well we know pop culture, since we claim to know it so well by writing about it. Game Night has a game called Facial Fusion, which unfortunately is not in the home game. It's one of my favorite games. It's basically Photoshop. It takes 2 celebrities' faces, mashes them together, and then the contestants have to guess who the people in the photos are. And one celebrity name always has, one person's last name is always the next person's first name. So for example, Pamela Anderson Cooper is a great, put their faces together, you can imagine what that looks like, because unfortunately I can't show you. There's no DVD or technical component to Hollywood Game Night. It's a little bit more of a throwback classic board game. So let's go ahead and get the box open and I'll show you what's inside. You can see for yourself why this might be something you want to put into your own Hollywood, game nights, and make them Hollywood Game Nights. So obviously, first up, we have the rules and the explanations of all the games. We'll get to what games are in here in a second. You don't need the rules if you watch the show. You already get it. This is your classic scorecard. Team 1, Team 2, host Jane Lynch representing. There's a little dry erase marker in here so you can take notes the old-fashioned way. There's also a timer, old school, 90 seconds. Each round is supposed to be 90 seconds. Most of you guys probably just use your cell phones when you play at home and you time your own game nights. You can still do that, but they decided to go with something a little bit more classic just for that feel. Now we're going to look at some of the cards, because every category, and there are 5 categories, they have cards that are identical, and they're in the box in a way that if you don't use a separator between them, they may get mixed up very easily. You don't want that to happen, because you'll be in the middle of the round and all of a sudden you'll have the card from a completely different game. So be careful with that. That is something that I ended up using just sticky notes in between them so they wouldn't get mixed together. Take the Hint is one of the games. If you know Hollywood Game Night, you know that Take the Hint is a game where you have a word. It's usually a place or a thing as opposed to a name or a TV show, title type of thing. You have the word, you have to get your teammates to guess the word. So let's take a look at some of the examples. On the back we've got, if you can see this, I'll read it to you: cheeseburger, Hawaii, vest, and poodle. There are 4 titles on this card, or 4 things on this card, so clearly they think that you can only get through 4 items in a 90-second round. I mean, I think I could do it faster. I think a lot of my friends could get it faster. That's okay. If that happens, you just take another card. There's no limit to how many cards you can do in a round. So obviously, let's do an example. Cheeseburger, right? If I got that during the round, a clue that I could give would be minus the bacon, it's Dean Winchester's favorite food. It might be a little too inside pop culture for this particular round, but I think that's fun. I think that's fitting for something like Hollywood Game Night. Um, Obviously, I love TV more than any other medium within pop culture, and I love TV more than most people. So if you play with me, just know most of my clues are TV related. How do you do is another game. I'll be honest with you, How Do You Do is one of my least favorite games, not because I don't love it and don't enjoy watching people have to sing along to a melody using only the word do. It's hilarious, but I hate it because I'm terrible at it, because I don't know music very well, and because Jane Lynch mocked me for not being good at it, even though I kicked ass at my other rounds when I was on the set. Just gonna say that out there, you know. So on the back of How Do You Do, there are actually 4 songs. Just like Take the Hint, they think that you can get through 4 in a round. It's actually a good combination, it seems like, of modern songs, classic songs. You know, this particular card has Beyonce's represented, Michael Jackson, Neil Diamond, Cyndi Lauper. Other cards have Marvin Gaye, Duran Duran, Kelly Clarkson, Madonna, Olivia Newton-John, Fine Young Cannibals, The Foundation, Starship, Al Green, The Temptations. I mean, we're getting into some territory where there are songs on here I don't know. Now, I said I wasn't great at music, so maybe other people would know them very well, but this, I think, is the round that can trip people up a lot easier than some of the others. Some of the others are much more friendly for those who may just be passing pop culture fans, not enthusiasts. So it kind of evens the playing field a little bit, and you know what? That's fair. We should let everybody have a fair shot at Hollywood Game Night. Now, another category is your I Love a Charade, which, typical charades, right? You have something on the back. It could be a thing, a person, a title of a movie, book, TV show, whatever, and you have to act it out using no words. So some examples that I think are hilarious: Titanic. Now, you could choose to do that as a movie or a ship because it does not specify, and I think that if you did it as a ship, I would give you bonus points. Also, Cowardly Lion, character, that's kind of fun. Vacuum cleaner, household item, that's really fun. Popcorn, Tony Montana, The Shining, Don Quixote, The Time Machine, The Sixth Sense, Meatballs. There's a really great dichotomy of items on here, so that, you know, again, if you're not a specific TV buff, you still have a shot at winning a lot of points. Until you get to my favorite, absolute favorite category across all the games that Hollywood Game Night has done for the first 2 seasons, TV ID. TV ID is the game where you're given the TV title, and you have to bid on how many words you need to give that clue so that your teammates can guess the TV title. And I'm just going to give you a little tip. Always bid 1. You can always do it in 1, and then the person who is on the other side, the other team, they can't bid lower than you, so you're going to get a shot at doing it. TV ID has 4 shows on the back. And what's really interesting, I think, about the TV ID portion of this home game is that Hollywood Game Night is an NBC show, and that is very well represented within the TV ID category. There are shows on here, again, classic shows, current shows, but even a few shows that, as of the printing of this game and the shooting of this video, they have not aired yet. And so NBC clearly, I think, is kind of tipping the scales in their favor. They've got some shows that they hope will be remembered in 5 years, and so they're putting their money where their mouth is, and they're putting them on these cards, and they're saying, hey, About a Boy, I think you're going to do well because you're on TV ID and you're in someone's home game for the next 20 years. Other games on here, or other titles on here, 30 Rock, that was an NBC show. Saved by the Bell aired on NBC years ago, you know, Access Hollywood. But the good thing is there are a lot of cable networks, other major networks represented. I mean, they're across the board here. We've got 60 Minutes, we've got Rachel Maddow, we've got Veronica Mars, Everybody Hates Chris, The Real Housewives of Orange County, The Nanny, Yes Dear, Blossom, Alf, Designing Women, Leave It to Beaver, The Real World, a great combination of reality shows, comedies, news programs. In the numbers I just read, I didn't see any genres, but that doesn't mean there are no genre shows represented in here. I just haven't found the cards that may include them yet. Well, there we go. Incredible Hulk. That was technically a genre show. Quantum Leap has genre elements. I can't promise you that every network is represented. Again, I haven't looked through all of these cards. This unboxing is the first time I've looked through the game. I mean, I opened it before shooting the video just to pull the plastic wrap off all of these because I knew that would be real time consuming if I had to do it on camera. But I didn't actually go through card by card and look at each title. The final game in here, the final round, is the final round on Hollywood Game Night, the show. Celebrity name game. It's basically celebrity. You have a card that has, in this case, 4 celebrity names on it, and you have to get your teammate to say the person using a variety of clues. Now, when I play celebrity at home with my friends on game nights, if we have an actor name, we have a rule where we say we can't say the person's character name because that's too easy. We still allow them to say things like star of whatever TV show. But we think the actor-character thing is a little too easy, a little bit of a cheat, especially because when we play at home, we do include character names in our celebrity bucket. I use a penny can from Cougar Town, and we throw names into it, and we pull them out, and sometimes they're Amy Poehler, and sometimes they're Leslie Knope, because you know what? Both are celebrities in their own right. Hollywood Game Night's celebrity name game seems to be just celebrities, no characters. But again, a great combination of various levels of celebrity. There's the globally known people like Bono, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Ellen DeGeneres, and then there's, the more niche. You actually have to be interested in this type of work. And I don't want to offend any celebrities by calling them niche, but there are a lot of TV people on here who, if you're not a super big TV fan, you might not really know what they're in currently, or you might have a little bit of trouble with their clues, even if you would recognize them when you saw them. So it's a great combination of authors, actors, writers, producers, directors. It doesn't seem like there's any politicians. There are sports, there are athletes on here. So again, it gives people a fair shot if you're not strictly TV and movie people. There are some other people that you can still prove your worth and still earn some points for your team. Now, I love TV ID the most in terms of which game is included in the Hollywood Game Night Party Edition, but my favorite part of the Hollywood Game Night Home Edition in general are these drink coasters. They have Jane Lynch's face, and they have your player number 2, and there's obviously 2 of each number because there's supposed to be 4 players on a team, so everybody gets a drink coaster. You don't have to play with 4 people on a team. You could really play with 2 people on a team if you wanted to. It's up to you and how you choose to appropriate this for your own friends and your own game nights. But the fact that there are drink coasters just makes me smile because obviously if you watch Hollywood Game Night, there is a bar. That's a big element of the show. The celebrities get kind of drunk, and the drunker you are, the sillier the clues can be. I'm not going to call out any of my friends by name, but I will say that at our last game night, we had clues. Jason Ritter, the clue that I was given to guess Jason Ritter was son of John. That's it. Just son of John. And, I mean, I love Jason Ritter and I love John Ritter, but it's kind of hard to think son of John, automatically Jason Ritter. Some other clues that my friends like to do, especially when they get a little tipsier. We love him. That could be 1 million people. Sleeps with everybody. This is Hollywood. That could be 1 million people. You kind of have to know your friends and know the way that they'll know people. Sometimes it's less about the name on the card as it is the way you give the clue. So there's hours and hours of fun in this Hollywood Game Night Home Edition. They recommend 4 to 8 players. They say ages 12 and up. I think today kids are pop culture savvy enough that you could start a little younger. There's nothing offensive in the game that, says only mature players, only 12 and up. You guys will tune in to Hollywood Game Night. It returns after the Olympics ends. It'll be on Thursday nights, 9 o'clock. NBC, obviously, it begins February 27th in that time slot. It's a prime time slot for NBC. There's some great celebrities coming up in the return half of the season. People like Mark Gosselaar, who will find himself a clue, at least in here, there's a Saved by the Bell clue. Returning celebrity guests like Anthony Anderson and Yvette Nicole Brown. It's going to be a good time. So I think you guys should check that out. And thanks for watching. I hope you love Hollywood Game Night. If you love it and you want to live tweet it with me, my Twitter handle again is @DanielleTBD. I can't hold in my commentary, and so I use Twitter for that outlet. So, please follow along. Please weigh in on what you think are terrible answers that sometimes people give.